Hello, I'm Forrest Kegel and I'm a visual artist, and we're here on Jara country, the home of the Jajawarang people. I'd like to pay my respects to their ancestors from the Everywen and my deep respect for this country that sustains us. We're working on a project called Out of the Box for Multicultural Arts Victoria, MAV, and we're here at the Emporium Creative Hub, where I'll be interviewing 4 amazing artists. So you'll get to learn more about their artistic journey, their cultural roots, what sustains them, and what they're doing creatively. So thanks very much to Regional Arts Victoria for funding this program. It's a culmination of 3 years of funding, and it's a program to showcase regional artists in Bendigo and Shepparton. And enjoy watching and learning more about these artists, because I certainly have. Hello Zane, it's lovely to have you here and this nice sunny afternoon here in the studio. And it's great to be here on Jara country and talking to you about your music and your creativity. So Zane, I've been listening to some of your music on Spotify. And do you want to tell people your artist name so they know how to look you up?
Okay. Yeah, my name is Caro X on Spotify, all platforms. That's Karo space X. Yeah. And
I've really enjoyed listening to the music that you've got on that platform. And I know that you're an incredibly prolific maker of music from the conversation that we had earlier. So I'd be really interested to hear a bit about what drew you in to, what made you want to make music?
Just having a musical family, household is the main thing that brought me into it. But
so when you say musical household, it's like who at home was playing music?
Dad played guitar, and he was in bands when he was younger. Mum, she listened to a bunch of different kind of music, and so did Dad. So he'd always be playing guitar, and eventually I picked one up. I mean, I was probably 7 or 8. Maybe they had me in lessons and that kind of thing. Yeah.
And was that something that like they were like, oh, you got to go to guitar lessons, you're part of this family, or was that something you were, I want to learn guitar?
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that forced or anything. It was more. I think they just kind of influenced it and pushed me that way, and I just kind of went with it. I didn't last though. I didn't like the fact. I didn't like being taught how to do things, and it got boring for me pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So I kind of dropped out of that and started to teach myself eventually. So
yeah, so you started teaching yourself guitar. Yeah. And did you start writing songs when you were pretty young?
I remember one song I wrote when I was like 9.
Wow.
But it was gibberish. Like I tried to make this, it was silly. But I found it the other day actually in like my notes, and it's just these like random made up words and stuff. So that was probably the first one. But I didn't start actually writing till I was about 14 or 15.
That's pretty young.
Yeah.
From where I'm sitting. That's like a young age to start writing. It's pretty impressive. And I know that you do a lot of electronic music and probably make stuff on a laptop. And so did you teach yourself how to do that? Or? Yeah. So what was that process like?
So we started learning about software, Fruity Loops.
Studio. Fruity Loops.
Yeah, FL Studio. Yeah. And in media class in high school, and the teacher used to let me just be over in the room and making beats because we had a class, and he'd seen me kind of doing it and liked what I was doing, and he just kind of kept me doing it for a bit. And, so I sort of started picking it up at school, but then I think he gave me the version that he had. I went home and started playing around with it, and I pretty much just YouTube like how to make beats and went from there.
And did you get hit up by your mates to make beats for them? Was that something? Did you become that guy that's like, oh, we need a fresh beat. Can you please make me something?
There was a couple. Yeah, there was a couple songs. I was talking about it last night with someone. Actually, there was a few songs we made in high school that we put out. It was good times.
Yeah. Well, because you're obviously the good person to know, because not everyone can get their head around that software. You know, like I've met a lot of people that rap but don't do the beat making side of things. So they're like, always super keen for something fresh. So I can imagine you being quite popular in that regard, especially in that demographic.
Yeah, I mean.
Good person to know, I reckon. Yeah. So what do you feel like inspires you? Like where does your drive to make a song come from? Like, is it about how you're feeling? Are you wanting to express your emotions? Is it you've got something you want to say about the world? Or is it just how it all sounds?
All of the above.
Yeah?
I think. Yeah. It's not one kind of... Like some days it could be an emotion, some days it could be I had a cool idea for like the concept of a song, or I really want to say this to the world. It could be anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It changes all the time. Do you think in music, like do you, I know that you work for Jandak and so you're doing natural resource management and out planting things, and do you have, I don't know, like musical thoughts happening while you're working, or get different ideas as you're doing stuff on your day to day?
Yeah. Yeah, and they usually just pop up out of nowhere. Like I go for a lot of walks and things like that, so like free association just kind of jumbles up and brings something out, and it could be a visual that I have in my head of like a place that I kind of make up, and then I could get inspired off of that thought and things like that maybe. But I think a lot of the time though, that's more rare than sort of just getting into the studio and starting to make something, and then it kind of just happens on the spot sort of thing when I'm
so you're listening to you're starting off with a bit of a groove or a loop or something, and then it builds from there.
Yeah, and I kind of gotta kick myself sometimes to like make stuff, because I'll just put it off for so long. But so I'll tell myself to just lay down the kick pattern. Just that's it. It's all I have to do. And if I don't do anything else after that, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I'll do that, and then I'm like, we need a snare, and then put that in, and then everything else kind of happens, and then it just builds itself. I don't know.
So you start from the kick.
Yeah, most of the time.
Foundation.
I mean, if I feel like I gotta get myself into it, yeah.
Well, it's always interesting talking to people that write music, because some people find a song will arrive fully formed in their head, or they know what it is and what the words are and what the tune is, and other times it can be a real struggle, and it can be put stuff down, it's not working, put it down again, change things around. It's really can be really process orientated. From the conversation we had earlier, it sounds like you're incredibly prolific at times. Like the amount of songs you were creating in a month was, how many did you say?
30.
Yeah. Which is like
20,
one a
30.
day.
Yeah.
It's really...
Yeah, it might be like nearly a week out of the month that I'm not making music, but I could get 2 or 3 a day.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's amazing. And
I think it's just habit, though. I don't think I'm not telling myself to really do it.
No, and I think that doesn't work. Like, some people that go, I'm going to do a challenge of writing 1,000 songs. And then they're all going to start to sound a bit the same after a while, or it's forced. Yeah. Whereas I feel like that to allow the creativity to flow, there is a bit of like having to push yourself sometimes. Like, yeah, I've got to lay a kick track down, but allowing the music to come out is, it's healthy.
Yeah.
So, what else? I know you're not making a lot at the moment. You've recently moved to Bendigo.
Yeah.
You're kind of getting used to your surroundings and what it is like to be here. But have you got anything on the horizon? Is anything starting to bubble up within you that you're thinking,
Always,
what would I like to make next?
Yeah. I feel like having a break, because I don't think I've really had a break for however long I've been making music. It doesn't feel like I have anyway. I can't remember a time that I kind of stopped, and if I did, I was still kind of doing it in other ways. But yeah, since I've kind of stopped for a while, which is maybe 3 months or so, I've just had all these new ideas and different kind of fresh sort of perspectives on what I'm doing, and yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to see what might come out soon.
I'm really looking forward to having a listen in future when you've had time to. I think it's really good to have a little break for a while and to take on new ideas, fresh inspiration. You're on different country here in Bendigo area, so it's probably you're connecting with it in a different way. Who knows what comes out?
Yeah.
And do you ever collaborate with other people?
I do most of what I do alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've made music with some friends and had fun, but most of what I do it alone. So
Yeah. So you like jamming and just getting together, having a bit of fun with people, but you'd rather have the creative control that you get from.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's probably it. Yeah.
But it's hard to know what the future may hold. You're still, even though you've been creating for quite a long time, like nearly half your life.
Yeah.
You're still fairly young. So it's hard to know what the future may hold.
Yeah.
And do you feel like can you tell us a bit about your cultural roots, like whose mob you are and...
Yeah, I'm a Yorta Yorta, Kamilaroi, and Māori. Yeah, and I'm sure there's other.
If you had all the resources at hand, unlimited funds or access to things, do you feel like your music would be different? Like, is there something you would like to do or be?
Yeah, it is a good question. I think it'd be different for sure, but
It's hard to know, isn't it? Because you what you're producing on your own sounds incredibly well produced, has a great, like, I really like your vocals, your content, and you seem very self-sufficient and able to create beautiful music, whereas some people might be like, oh, I really need a band, or oh, I need a recording studio so I can make the work. But it's like you're just doing it on your own.
Yeah, and I've definitely had those kind of thoughts, but I can't accept it. It's like it just feels like an excuse, and I just have to, like, if I want to do it, I want to make stuff. Like that question, if I had all the money and everything, what would I be doing? I think I'd still just be trying to make stuff. Like I can't not do that. I think we were talking about it last week, like or on the phone. You kind of have to make things, and I think that's
there's that compulsion to create, and it's like there's stuff in us that has to come out, and it's like it's your unique voice, and it's who you are. And obviously if you've been creating, so, you had the beautiful joy of being born into a musical family, but you've been playing guitar since you were 9 and making music electronically since you were 14. It's like it's obviously there. It's a big part of who you are.
Yeah. And like, I had a thought just now. There was something about birds have wings for a reason. They're supposed to use them, kind of things. Like if you can, like, not for everything, but
Yeah, that's right. And what about playing live? Like, I know you've played at Shepparton Festival and a few other gigs and stuff like that. Is that something you'd like to do more live performance?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
For sure.
So world tour on the horizon, something like that?
Yeah.
I mean, how self-contained are you? Like, if I want to go on tour with my band, there's 7 of us and we all play multiple instruments. You can go on tour with a laptop.
Yeah, laptop, yeah.
That's pretty...
It's a big job, really. I go a world tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we've got to start somewhere.
I don't think I'm quite there yet.
So if you were going to give yourself, your 18-year-old self, some advice, what advice would you have?
I heard somebody say that, you probably shouldn't tell yourself anything, really. Like,
you don't want to change a thing, you want to be who you are.
Yeah. But if anything, probably learn how to relax. I think that's a good one. Or, just keep learning, keep breathing.
So I noticed you don't have any film clips as yet for your songs. What kind of visual world do you imagine that they're in?
It's a strange world, to say the least. I don't think it's that strange from my point of view, but no one else can really see it, can they?
Well, you're living inside it.
Yeah, I'm in it, yeah.
What would you imagine being there for people to watch? Like, some people might just listen to this, so for them it's fine. But if someone's sitting there watching it on their computer or their TV, what would you want them to see from the world of your songs?
I think it's more of a feeling. I don't know if people can see feelings. So
I think they can, because
I don't know if everyone can see feelings. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. But you know that thing they say about video is that when you make a piece of video, the audio side of it is the emotional content.
Okay.
So, like just moving footage of things happening is one thing.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you add the audio, which is the music as well as the dialogue or the atmospheric sounds, that's when you get that's what brings the emotion to life.
Yeah.
So you're definitely, pursuing the emotional side of it, because I think to me, when I listen to your music, I'm hearing lots of different feelings coming out, and it almost seems to me like it's a way that you're processing what's happening in your life and what you're seeing in the world. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So, I'm just really curious that if you had a filmmaker turn up, knock on your door and go, "Hey Zane, I'm going to make a film clip for you. What are we going to put in it?"
It'd probably be very minimal.
Yeah.
I think something like just like a blank room, sort of. I find a lot of my songs that's the kind of thing I see is just it's a blank room. There's not much going on in it, but there could be a lot going on in it, but it's always kind of blank. I don't know. Not always, but a lot of the time it is anyway. So it'd be something simple.
Simple, just like maybe some colours moving or maybe some clouds floating past or something.
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, I think there's quite a bit texturally happening in your music, so having something fairly pared back visually is probably really good because it wouldn't distract from that.
Yeah.
So when you've got that multi-million-dollar film producer come to knock on your door and go, "You can do anything," that's going to be fun for them when they say, just a blank room, no problem.
Yeah. Exactly.
What are we going to spend the rest of the money on? Can you tell us about something that you've done or created? Just it can be a little thing, but something that was a bit of a light bulb moment for you that you felt good about something that you made or something you learnt how to do?
It's not particularly anything I've made or done. I've learned how to do it. Not particularly anything I've made, but just more so just existing as someone with a creative brain that, I'm always on, and there was a point in the beginning that there was a long kind of stretch where there was a lot to kind of handle. You know, my brain was constantly just ticking all the time, and I got to a point where it'd be hard to have a conversation with anyone because I would be picking out all these things and like writing lyrics in my head and like this song, like it was a lot. And so I think something that I'm kind of proud of myself for is getting a bit of a hold on that. You know? So that's a lot of work. I mean, I've built this habit like journaling kind of things, meditation, that kind of thing. And I think just the day-to-day kind of, you call it a lifestyle, yeah, that kind of keeps everything intact, I think.
Yeah, oh, that sounds really good. So that I can imagine that would be hard to be in that situation where, you know, someone's talking to you and you've just got a rhythm going in your head or some song lyrics or whatever. So it's pretty impressive to hear what strategies you've developed to sort of channel some of that. I mean, I think you're funneling a lot of it into music, but you talk about walking, and I think I love walking, and it's like, it just feels right to be walking, and it's like, I mean, they talk about it as a kinesthetic learner or something like that, or that, like, I go to things and I knit and I can listen better to a lecture or something if I'm knitting, but if I'm walking, I get ideas, or even if I'm like on a bus, like it's that being in motion, ideas come. So like the walking I love it. I just, you know, love the walking.
Yeah, I'll sit at the park a lot. I like just going to the park and just sitting there. Sounds like it's not something a regular 23-year-old does, I don't think. But
I think I did it when I was 23 and I still do.
I don't really have too many, I don't know too many people that sort of just, I don't know, maybe people just don't talk about it. But
yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like being outside, listening to the birds, watching the weather, all of that stuff. It's really, I find that inspirational. And so what do you feel like's maybe next on the horizon with music?
No idea.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
It's actually really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I quite like the times where there's nothing going on and I'm having a break from work and I don't know what's coming next. I think it's that potential is like
anything.
Anything could happen. Yeah. I mean, I don't think you're going to take up clarinet.
Probably not. maybe. Who knows? But yeah, it's good, like almost letting go of what's next.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Letting it be whatever it's going to be.
Yeah. I think that's important, not to push, but just to allow the new things to bubble up and come through.
Yeah.
As they do. Well, it's really exciting. I'm looking forward to hearing what comes out next. I'm not putting you under any pressure there, because I think that slow simmer and really allowing stuff to come through when it's ready is really important, because sometimes I think, you know, songs and paintings and all forms of art, they really have a life of their own. They're their own entity. And
you can tire yourself out trying to control it.
Oh, yeah. It's like, and often it feels to me it's good to allow it to come as it is, and you know, you might not even like it. Like, I've made things I don't like particularly, but it was just what had to come out, and that's so fine. Trust the process. Any message you've got for any other kids out there that, or it doesn't matter actually, whether anyone who thinks, oh, I'd really like to make some beats, or I'd really like to write my own songs, but I don't know how to start. Have you got any advice for those people?
Someone who's wanting to start doesn't know how. Yeah,
because you just like gravitated towards it, or your teacher put you in front of Fruity Loops and off you went.
I've got no advice for them.
That's all right. They can work it out for themselves.
Just start, I guess.
Just start, yeah. That's all right. Yeah. But what about, you haven't been in Bendigo long.
No.
What do you think would make your creative life here easier? Like, I know you've got a job, but is there anything that would make it easier for you to connect with other musicians and artists and creative people?
I don't know. I think I'm sort of. I do a lot alone, so I don't really think about that too much. I think things like this are a great thing anyway.
Yeah, well, you were the first person to see this opportunity and apply for it.
I was the first.
Yeah,
oh,
you were. For someone who isn't a totally chatty, out there, talkative person, in front of a camera anyway, is super brave.
Oh, there you go.
So you've made a lot of music already. Have you thought about putting an album together? Is that something that you can imagine, a group of songs that might be friends and end up on an album together?
Yeah. I've attempted it many times, but it never falls through. So I just don't. I'm not really aiming at anything in particular, and I think I feel a lot better that way because there's no pressure.
Yeah, you don't need pressure.
Yeah. I've definitely had. I couldn't count how many times I've tried to make an album.
Yeah, but when the time's right, that can happen. And you've got a few tracks on Spotify. What was that process like? Like, how did you manage to work your songs onto Spotify?
So there's a distribution company called DistroKid. There's others, but popular, and so I found that, and just you pretty much upload it to DistroKid, and they'll send it out to all, like, whatever platforms you want.
Yeah. And did they charge you, or?
It is a subscription.
Yeah.
But it's not much at all. I think it's $10 for the year or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a good thing for other people to know.
Yeah.
Because it's to someone of my generation, that's like a mythical, strange world. Like the whole how to
get something on.
How does a streaming platform like that work? Then I know they definitely don't earn you much money.
No.
Because it all works on thousands and thousands of plays and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have it there so you can point people to it. And I really valued that it was there because I could listen.
Right.
Yeah. I think we'll just let our viewers and listeners listen, and they can also look you up on Spotify.
Cool. Yeah.
KROX. Thanks so much for coming in today and having a chat, and it's been really great to get to know you a bit, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out next and what influence being here on Jara Country brings out in your music as opposed to when you were on Yorta Country. Seeing what comes and what, I'm just going to watch your star rise.
Phony never on. I don't talk if I don't know you. You just heard these songs. I'm tryna light this fire. I can never do it wrong. Swear I got so much love. Swear I got so much love. This feeling make my belly ache. Just know I slow down anytime soon. Can't believe you